When someone attacks your character, insults your dignity, or tries to shatter your reality, it sets off an alarm deep inside your nervous system. Your biological programming triggers an urge to fight back. You feel a pressure to yell, to defend your ego, and to force the other person to acknowledge your pain. However, for a psychological manipulator, this reaction is the goal. Your anger serves as an invitation. They look for the moment your voice rises or you begin talking faster to regain control. They are measuring how much power they hold over your emotions. Entering the argument means stepping into their arena. By justifying your position, you hand over control of your own mental state. Standard defensive reactions provide the attacker with the exact proof of dominance they are seeking. Certain individuals handle these confrontations with a calculating stillness. They choose to deny the aggressor an emotional response. They do not argue, and they do not justify their actions. By remaining physically present while psychologically withdrawing, they create what is known as an iron wall of silence. This lack of feedback initiates a specific psychological process, shifting the power dynamic back to the person who refuses to speak. From the perspective of the aggressor, a verbal attack is an investment that expects a specific return, resistance. When that hostility meets an absolute void of emotion, the feedback loop breaks. The brain encounters a vacuum where it expected a conflict. This results in cognitive dissonance, a psychological clash between the attacker's expectation of a fight and the silent reality they are facing. Since you provide no verbal material to work with, the silence begins to act as a mirror. The aggressor is forced to confront their own behavior. Without your anger to distract them, their own loud desperation becomes the only thing visible in the room. In this state of non-reaction, you strip the aggressor of their perceived power and leave them exposed. Executing this tactic requires precise physical control. You maintain a rigid posture and eliminate all fidgeting. A display of hatred is avoided. Hatred is an emotion, and showing it signals that you are still invested in the interaction. Instead, you utilize the visual shutdown. You observe the individual with the detached curiosity of a scientist studying a specimen under a lens. As the silence stretches, the aggressor's heart rate typically increases. They may begin to stutter or apologize, attempting to fill the void with more noise. At the peak of this tension, you turn your gaze to a different subject entirely. This final shift in focus effectively erases the aggressor's presence from your immediate reality. The silence ends in the room, but it continues to act within the aggressor's neural pathways. Research reveals that being treated as irrelevant illuminates the exact same neural networks as physical trauma. The nervous system processes social erasure with the intensity of a physical blow. Without verbal resolution, the brain struggles for logical closure, creating a painful mental loop. This lack of validation often leads to a cycle of paranoia. The individual begins to generate their own internal narratives to explain your silence. By remaining silent, you essentially outsource the work of psychological distress to the victim's own mind. True power operates in silence. It does not require volume to establish dominance. Controlling your reaction leads to control over the entire interaction. Protecting yourself from manipulation requires an understanding of these hidden laws of human behavior. Take back your mental space. Subscribe to this channel, join our circle of psychological survival, and learn to decode the darkest corners of human behavior. Stay stoic, stay dangerous.